श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। कदण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विश्वपुरोगणां निधेतरो विद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो धर्माय मदे नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मां वक्ष्यामि शाश्वताम्। नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय देशदेशस्य प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणगतामिभाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। So we were previously looking at in Drona Parva, Jayadratha Vada Parva, that stage where Arjuna was charging towards Jayadratha and he was stopped by Drona and he sees Drona behind and moves forward. Kritavarman stops him and Kritavarman was defeated. And then he goes and has battle with the other Bhojas and others, Shritayis and things, others like that, and he kills them and moves forward. Like this, Arjuna was going ahead, and it was already in the early afternoon, and Arjuna notices his horses are very tired. So he asks Krishna that you take horses, you unyoke these horses and give them a little bit of rest, give them something to drink, water. Meanwhile, I will take care. And having said that, Arjuna gets off his chariot and then he constructs a hall with his arrows where Krishna could take shelter and his horses could take shelter. And also, he builds a lake. So, through his arrows, he creates a lake for the horses to drink and refresh themselves and recover. So, seeing that, everybody applauds what Arjuna has done, and Arjuna standing on the ground, he starts facing all the Kauravas. Kauravas were very happy that to see him on the foot, and they started attacking in large numbers on Arjuna. Now they could aim easily at him. So, like this, Arjuna was battling, and Krishna unyoked his horses, and then he started seeing Arjuna battling on his foot. And while standing on his foot, and while everybody is on their horses, enemies on horses, elephants, chariots, and even on foot soldiers, everybody attacking him, Arjuna did not fear at all at his enemies that's coming. He did not feel any anxiety whatsoever, and he was fighting with all of them with hundreds of arrows, maces, lances, everything that's coming towards him. Even then, he was resisting all of them and then killing all of those people coming out, all those kings and warriors that's coming towards him. He was killing all of them and battling all of them while standing on the ground. So again, even though he was alone, he was standing on the ground and he was battling like that. Nobody could defeat him and get better of him, and nobody could find any fault, any problems, any chance to hurt him. So it was like that. They did not succeed in baffling Arjuna. All those kings failed to do that. Just like Sanjay says here, that he gives an example, just like one fault, that is the avarice, destroys all the accomplishment. Just like that, Arjuna succeeded in defeating all those people. So Kauravas, seeing this, even Kauravas started applauding Arjuna, and they were very pleased to see, and some of them, those kings and warriors, were saying that this Arjuna is great, and while sending Krishna to take care of the horses, unyoking those horses from his chariot, standing on the ground, he's battling, and he inspires all of us in the battlefield how to battle. So such a Arjuna is we are battling against, and they were like that. So then Krishna in that battlefield, unyoking those horses, he walked very calmly, as if he was in the assembly of women and not in front of lot of armed enemies. So he had no fear at all because he knew that Arjuna was going to protect him and Arjuna is going to resist any enemies coming towards him, and he was entering that hall Arjuna has built. So like this, Krishna goes away, and he is very well skilled in grooming those horses. So he removed those arrows and things like that, those injuries, and he removed their fatigue by rubbing them and then grooming them, and the pain and things like that he removed. And then he made them drink water, and then like this he prepared them again once again with their fatigue and pain, everything removed. He put them back on the chariot again. So once again, Krishna and Arjuna mount on that chariot, and then they start the battle. So seeing this, all those kings on the Kaurava side become once more very much disappointed, saying that we had Arjuna on foot and Krishna away, so still we could not do anything. Now they are back on the chariot, so there is no hope today. Definitely, they are going to kill us, all of us. And also they say that Krishna and Arjuna, now they are proceeding towards Jayadratha, and there is nobody that's going to stop them. And also some of them start blaming Duryodhana, saying that this is all Duryodhana's fault. Because of that, we are here and we are battling here because of Duryodhana, and Duryodhana does not understand how great Krishna and Arjuna are in the battlefield. And so that's why we are like this. And some of them have already started talking about Jayadratha's death, how he's going to be killed, and Duryodhana will not be able to protect. So like this, they were talking and still facing Arjuna. Arjuna, meanwhile, seeing sun moving faster towards evening. So it's and in downwards. He thought it's in the afternoon now. He starts rushing towards Jayadratha and clearing his path. Like this, he starts moving forward. As he was moving forward, the arrows the enemies were shooting, the Kauravas were shooting, they were falling behind Arjuna. So that means he was moving so fast with his fast chariot and clearing his path. So he was moving so fast, the Kauravas aim, the army aims, those kings and the warriors on Kaurava side, they aim the arrows and they release. By that time, Arjuna has moved on from that position already. So like this, Arjuna was moving so far quickly. And at that time, Duryodhana, after getting that armor from Drona, he manages to come there. And he follows Arjuna in that battlefield, and then he manages to reach. So when he is coming again, all the dust was rising and things like that. So he comes there. So Duryodhana, while he was going like that, on the other side, we also see that Drona was battling, and those again, when Arjuna and Krishna were battling on with those Kauravas, some of them kings started running away, and while they were running away, some of them again ran away from that battlefield and then thought about shame they're going to get from that battle if by running away, and also anger and things like that. They came back again and thinking about their own becoming cool and collected, they once again started attacking Arjuna. And those started returning, those started returned and started attacking Arjuna. They did not return again because they all sent to Yama's place. And many of them, even seeing this, that those who have returned and only to die, some of them thought this is no good. They all accepted the sin of running away from the battlefield and ran away like those atheists turning away from the Vedas. They ran away from that battlefield. From the best, they ran away. So like this, the Kshatriyas were battling with Arjuna, and they were like battling like that, issuing that Drona's array, destroying that one. Nobody thought Jayadratha was going to survive today, and Krishna and Arjuna continued to battle in that battlefield. Then Arjuna addresses Krishna, and then he says that Jayadratha is placed between all the six warriors, great warriors here, and even then he will not escape me. Even if Indra comes and tries to protect him, I will definitely kill him today. And saying this, while they were talking like this, they were they were looking for Jayadratha in that battlefield, and they uh, again releasing themselves from the clutches of Drona, Kritavarman, and many other kings. Krishna and Arjuna continue to battle, and they continue to destroy that army of Kauravas and then make progress towards Jayadratha. They cleared all the obstructions that's coming their way, all the kings and the warriors that's coming, whether it is foot soldiers, horse riders, uh, chariot, elephants, whatever the form they were coming, any type of weapon they were facing, and Arjuna is to destroy and continue beyond that. And they thought, making such a progress, Arjuna realizes that he is not far off from Jayadratha, and then he became more excited and started pushing further. So while they were going like that, Duryodhana manages to reach Arjuna on a single chariot. He manages to reach Arjuna. He comes there with seeing him coming like that. Some of the Kauravas were very much impressed that him going after that Krishna and Arjuna, angrily him going like that. But on the other hand, some of them were worried. Seeing Duryodhana coming like that, Krishna addresses Arjuna and he says that, look, Arjuna, Duryodhana has come here and he has managed to block us again once more. And remember that he's very strong. There is nobody equal to him in the battlefield. He's such a strong person, and the arrows also, his arrows coming are very sharp, very far-reaching. They are very. He's a great bowman as well in the battlefield. They strike very hard, and he is aware of all the modes of warfare. But also remember what he has done to the Pandavas and to you and rest of the Pandavas. He is the one who is causing this battlefield and everyone's death here, and he is the one root of all the wrongs that has happened to the Pandavas. So he is now within your reach. So look after your success. Why Duryodhana is there and why this battle has started. Think about all that. Take this opportunity and now do not make waste of this opportunity. Duryodhana is within your reach, so kill him now. Krishna addresses him and tells him that kill Duryodhana now. By deceit cheated Yudhisthira at the dice game. He insulted Draupadi uh, uh, in that sabha. So remembering all those things, hardship you have to go through in that woods, in the forest, and things like that. Remembering all that, strike today. So he is very much near to you. It is very good luck you have. So don't waste your time. Cut him and cut him to pieces. So Krishna orders or asks Arjuna to do that. And when he says that, Arjuna agrees and he says that it is as you'd say, I will do what you have said and I will cut off his head today. And with that, we shall, whatever that insult Draupadi had to go through, we will avenge all those insults that's today. Having said that, he urges his chariots, horses towards Duryodhana, and Duryodhana also approaching them, and then the terrible shouts takes place from both sides, and the conch shells and everything they blow. So, like this, Duryodhana faces Arjuna, and he became very angry. He starts striking at Arjuna and Krishna, and Krishna and Arjuna as well challenges them smilingly, and then both of them blow their conch shells and started the battle. And seeing Krishna and Arjuna so happy, all of the Kauravas there, they thought Duryodhana is going to be killed today. And they already thought Duryodhana has been killed, even though Arjuna has not started attacking him. They thought, looking at smile on Arjuna's face, they thought they were going to kill him today. And Duryodhana, on the other hand, assures all of them that, don't worry, I will kill all these two Krishnas today. I will send them to Yama's place. So having said this, those two started attacking and Duryodhana once again addresses Arjuna, and he says that if you are born of Pandu, then attack on me, and if you have any weapon that you got, or the ones that's given celestial weapons, or the earthly weapons, or that has Krishna also has, all those weapons release on me today, and I will speak to you. If you have any manliness, attack on me. So like this, he starts insulting Arjuna, and he challenges Arjuna in that battlefield. So Arjuna uh, Arjuna, he insults him like that, and Duryodhana strikes Arjuna with 3 arrows, and then he again strikes the with 4 arrows. He strikes the 4 horses, and he strikes Krishna in the chest with 10 arrows and cuts off the whip of Krishna holding in his hand. And then Arjuna, without losing a moment, he shoots 14 arrows towards Duryodhana, but all those arrows, however, were repelled by Duryodhana's armor. Seeing this, Arjuna once more strikes 59 arrows, sharp arrows at Duryodhana, and those arrows as well, they were repelled by Duryodhana's armor. So seeing again 28 arrows became abortive, Arjuna's arrows, then he turns to Krishna. Looking at this, laughs at Arjuna, and he says that I never seen this before, where your arrows were becoming abortive like this. They never become useless like this. Is your power diminished as your Gandiva bow? Is it decayed in its power? What happened? Is your strength become lost? Are you is it not this time that are you scared of Duryodhana? Like this, he starts laughing at Duryodhana, Arjuna, and he starts kind of mocking him. Krishna himself asks Arjuna why your arrows are not making any effect on Duryodhana and why they are bouncing back. So Arjuna says that Arjuna realizes what Duryodhana has got, and he says that uh, this armor has been put on Duryodhana by Drona, and that armor is uh, that cannot be penetrated by any weapon. And this armor, Krishna, is inherits the strength of all the 3 words. Only Drona knows it, and from him, I also know it. So I also know that armor, and this armor it cannot be pierced by any of my weapons. Even Krishna himself cannot pierce it with his Vajra. So knowing all this, Krishna, why you seek to confound me? Again, that whatever that happened in this world, and whatever that exists in this world, and whatever that's going to happen in this world in future, all these things are known to you. Knowing all this, why you ask me all this question? Why you are mocking me like this? So saying that my arm or my Gandiva is useless, becoming useless, my strength has become useless. So you know everything. There is no one other than you who knows everything. So this Duryodhana is cased in armors by Drona in this battlefield, but he does not know how to wear this armor, and he wears it like a woman, because any brave warrior is not going to wear such an armor and come to the battlefield. On the other hand, he is like a woman wearing this armor and coming in the battlefield. Even though he is protected by that, I will still defeat him. And even and Arjuna says that Indra previously gave this armor to Angirasa, and Angirasa gave this to Brahaspati, and Brahaspati gave uh, Brahaspati again. It was given by Indra himself, and then Indra gave it to me as well. So previously in the battle, Brahma himself put this armor on Vishnu. So like this, it was created by Brahma himself. So even then, I will defeat Duryodhana. Having said this, Arjuna inspires his arrows with some mantras, and then begins to pull his bow string. As he releases that arrow, which was about to hurt Duryodhana, the Ashwatthama cuts off that arrow. And seeing that Ashwatthama cutting off that arrow, and uh, Arjuna tells Krishna that I cannot use the same weapon I just released twice. If I do that, that weapon will kill myself and our troops. So that's why I cannot release. So while this was happening, Duryodhana once more strikes Arjuna and Krishna with 9 arrows, and then once more he strikes a large number of arrows at Krishna and Arjuna. Seeing these arrows coming towards them, he becomes very happy, and all the Kauravas troops, everybody become very happy, and they all started beating musical instruments and blowing horns and all those things. Then Arjuna angrily becomes started looking at Duryodhana's body and saying which part of the body is not covered by that armor, and with sharp arrows he first kills his horses and then his charioteer, and then Arjuna cuts off Duryodhana's bow, his leathern fence that attached to the palm, and then he cuts off his chariot into fragments, and then with a couple of keen arrows, he strikes the palms of Duryodhana. Okay, so again, Duryodhana's palm was cased in that leathern fence, so to release the armors, release the arrows, and hold the bow and things like that. So that part was not covered by the armor, Drona's armor. So he strikes on that hands, palms. So with that, he injures Duryodhana. So he cannot continue in the battlefield. So even though he has full armor, body protected, his hands are no use. So like this, Arjuna puts Duryodhana in trouble, and then he falls Duryodhana in great trouble. Seeing this, many thousands of the warriors on their side started coming and attacking Arjuna and Krishna. Then Arjuna again, with his weapons, started to kill all of them, defeat all of them, and then there was again for a large length of the battlefield, there was nobody ahead of him because he was clearing that much. So then Krishna, without taking any time, addresses Arjuna, saying that draw your bow with great force. I will blow my conch shell. And saying this again, he starts blowing his Panchajanya, and Krishna started blowing his Panchajanya, and Arjuna starts drawing Gandiva. And with that sound again, Kaurava warriors, they all started became start feeling very weak and started falling on the ground with that sound itself. So then Arjuna again, freed from that press that was coming from the Kauravas, he he starts making progress, and Arjuna uh, makes progress towards Jayadratha. And like this, he goes, and then the Jayadratha's protectors, they all suddenly seeing Arjuna very nearby, they all become worried, and they all started preparing for a huge battle with Arjuna. And Arjuna again, Krishna, seeing them, also became very happy and started making further progress happily towards them. So, like this, the Kauravas, with large number of them, started attacking Arjuna, but Arjuna again, rushing towards all of them, did not uh, spare any of them, and all 10 swords he started covering with his arrows, and then continuously making progress. Bhurishrava, Sala, Karna, Vrishasena, Jayadratha, Kripa, and Shalya, along with Kritavarman, these 8 people, they all started covering Arjuna and Krishna in large number of arrows, and Arjuna again covered all of them with sharp number of arrows, and all of them continued and started attacking. Arjuna blew his Devadatta, Krishna blew his Panchajanya, loud conch shells. Those again started sound making all over the places. The drums, kettles, cymbals, mridangas, and various other instruments were blown by all the Kauravas and everybody in that battlefield as that great battle was about to start. So again, Kauravas uh, continued to attack, but again they were filled with anxiety and fear, seeing Arjuna coming towards them, and Arjuna, then again Duryodhana and those 8 warriors who were protecting Jayadratha, all of them started surrounding Arjuna. Ashwatthama strikes Krishna with 73 arrows. Arjuna himself, he strikes Arjuna, and Arjuna, he strikes Arjuna with 3 arrows, and his standard and 4 horses with 5 arrows. And again, seeing Krishna injured, hurt by those arrows, Arjuna strikes Ashwatthama with 100 arrows, then strikes Karna with 10, Vrishasena with 3, and then cuts off Shalya's bow. Uh, and then Shalya takes up another bow and then he strikes at Arjuna. Bhurishrava strikes him with 3 arrows, and then Karna strikes him with 32 arrows. Vrishasena strikes him with 7 arrows. Jayadratha sends 73 arrows. Kripa sends him 10 arrows. So again, Shalya once again strikes Arjuna with 10 arrows and Ashwatthama with 60 arrows, and Ashwatthama once again strikes Arjuna with 5 arrows and Krishna with 20. Then Arjuna, on the other hand, uh, strikes at all of them, and he strikes at those warriors in return, and he strikes Karna with a dozen of arrows, Rishasena with 3. He cuts off Shalya's bow once more, and then he strikes Bhurishrava's with 3 arrows, Shalya with 10 arrows. He strikes Kripa with 25 arrows, and then Jayadratha with 100 arrows, and Arjuna cuts off Ashwatthama, strikes Ashwatthama with 70 arrows. Then Bhurishrava's angrily he cuts off Krishna's goad. Once again, Arjuna with 23 arrows he strikes. So again he like this, and then once again he strikes Arjuna and Krishna with hundreds of arrows. So, like all these people were attacking, Dhritarashtra, listening to this from Sanjaya, he asks him, describe all the standards of these people, all the warriors that were assembled. Again, Dhritarashtra asked similar question previously. They describes the chariots, the flags that's carrying, the flag staffs and the decorations and all those kinds of things previously. Now, Sanjay once more explains this. Uh, so he explains that the chariot that Arjuna was going is a celestial looking one, and the ape on that is fierce with fierce face and a tail like a lion. So that's on the Arjuna's chariot in the standard. It was looking like that in his flag, and again that ape uh, uh, the apes were there, and also it had many banners, which was frightened the Kurus there. And similarly, Ashwatthama had a lion tail in his flag. So this is like party flags. Okay, so everybody got their own flag to identify who is there. So they got. Today we see in political parties having their own flags, right? So like that. So these people had their own flag. So Ashwatthama had a lion tail that was there, and then Karna had a elephant rope made of gold that was there, and then that banner was adorned with gold and garlands and things like that that was there. And then Kripa had bow and bull as his mark, and then that again looked like it destroyed itself in that bull. And Vrishasena had a peacock that looked like Skanda's uh, peacock. And then Plowshare looked on the Shalya's car, and it had also goddess of corn as presiding over that, and also a silver boar was there on Jayadratha's chariot in this flag with golden chains. It looked great with white crystals. And similarly, Bhurishrava's had a sacrificial stake in there, who is again devoted to sacrifices. So that was there. His flag. Shalya had a silver elephant on it and a peacock with golden. That looked very real. So like this, they were there, and then the standard on Duryodhana was with gold. It was an elephant adorned with gems and 100 bells attached to it. That was making a great noise. And then again, coming back to Arjuna, he had that huge ape, Vanara. Hanuman inspiring that ape on that his flag. So like this, Arjuna's chariot was there, and then Gandiva, with his Gandiva, he was swirling and destroying the enemies. And Sanjay again, while narrating, reminds that this is all because of your evil policy and your own fault. All these kings are dying at the hands of Arjuna. So Arjuna continues in that battle, all those 8 warriors and Duryodhana attacking, surrounding him with their troops, and Arjuna continues to face and starts attacking them one after another and striking back them. So here Dhritarashtra listening to this, when Arjuna has gone near Jayadratha, what did the Panchalas attacked by Drona they do? So again, remember, so there is a array formed. Arjuna went deep inside that Kaurava array, and he was facing now Jayadratha, his target, right? But at the front of that array, Drona is leading and he is charging towards Yudhisthira, right? So when Arjuna is making progress here, what's happening on the other side? Tell me that. So Dhritarashtra asked that. So here we looked at in the morning what happened when Drona and had battle with Drishtadyumna, Satyaki, all those people. So again, what happened in the afternoon? Here now Sanjay narrates. Sanjay says that in the afternoon of that battle, so we again take a pause on what happened with Arjuna. Arjuna is now near Jayadratha and there is a battle taking place. We come back to what happened at the beginning of the front of the battlefield, where Drona is facing the Panchala warriors and the remaining 4 Pandavas with Satyaki and other Virata, Kashi Raja and other people. So here Drona again leading that battlefield. Panchalas were very much hoping to kill Drona. They started attacking in large numbers. They started attacking Drona and his chariot. And then at that time when they were rushing towards that chariot, Kaikeya's, especially Kurukshetra, he goes after Drona. And Kshemadruti, seeing that he goes against Kurukshetra, and seeing that Drishtaketu goes after him. So Kurukshetra was going after Drona, seeing that Kshemadruti comes, and seeing Kshemadruti, Drishtaketu goes after him. So like this, they started one and saying Drishtaketu going, then Veeradhanvan goes after him. Then Yudhisthira as well with his troops, he goes after Drona himself, and Vikarna goes after Nakula, Durmukha goes after Sahadeva, and Vyagradhatta goes after Satyaki, and then Bhurishravas goes after Draupadi's sons. So like this, the battle goes, and then Alambusha goes after Bhima in that battlefield. Rishishringa's son Alambusha Rakshasa, he goes after Bhima. So the battle like this takes place there. Yudhishthira strikes Drona in that battlefield, and the battle takes place between them. Drona strikes him in return in the chest with 25 arrows, and once more he strikes. Drona strikes him with his horse's chariot and standards with 20 arrows. Yudhishthira once more getting showing his skills. He cuts off all those arrows, and then again he showers at Drona. Then Drona again angrily cuts off the bow of Yudhishthira, and then the Drona once again speedily rushes towards Drona with thousands of arrows. Drona rushes thousands of arrows towards Yudhishthira. And seeing all this, people thought Yudhishthira has been killed. They all started thinking, okay, Yudhishthira has been killed by Drona. The Brahmana has killed the king here. So then Yudhishthira again, in that trouble, he is with keeping that bow which has been broken. He keeps that aside, and then he takes another and he strikes at Drona. He starts resisting Drona, but again having Drona once again cuts off those arrows of Yudhisthira, and then angrily he strikes at Yudhisthira. So they uh, he takes up Yudhishthira takes up a strong arrow which had a golden staff and 8 bells attached to it, and that arrow he starts taking that he starts striking, releasing towards Drona. And seeing that again, people were worried that it's going to kill Drona, and they all were worried. And then Drona immediately invokes Brahmastra, Brahma weapon, and then with that he cuts off that, and then he releases Brahma weapon towards Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira in return releases Brahma weapon towards Drona. Uh, so like this, those two weapons collide, and then they destroy, nullify each other. Then Drona, uh, taking here, Yudhishthira cuts off with 5 arrows. He cuts off Drona's bow, and Drona takes that bow aside, and then with great force he releases a mace towards Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira again takes up. He himself takes up a mace and then releases that towards the mace that's coming towards him, and those two collide in sky and then create fire. Sparks of fire fell on the earth because of that collision of two maces in the sky. And then Drona kills the horses of Yudhishthira and 4 excellent horses. He kills with 4 arrows, and then with an arrow he cuts off his Yudhishthira's bow, and then he cuts off the standard of Yudhishthira, and then with 3 he herds Yudhishthira himself. Then Yudhishthira jumps down from his chariot, where the horses were killed, and then he with his arm raised, with his weaponless, he was standing like that. And seeing all this, people thought, okay, Yudhishthira now going to be killed by Drona. And while they were thinking like that, Sahadeva comes there and then rescues Yudhishthira and takes him on his chariot and then takes him away from Drona. So like this, Yudhishthira is rescued. Again, we saw this 2-3 times already. Drona trying to capture Yudhishthira and someone coming and rescuing him. So, but still Yudhishthira gives a great fight with Drona. Even though he's not equal to Drona, he managed to resist him for a long time and has a great battle with Drona. So then Kshemadruti advancing towards Kurukshetra, he has battle with him, and then those two having again battles with cutting off the bows. Kshemadruti, he strikes once again with Kurukshetra, and Kurukshetra again taking another bow, he strikes at Kshemadruti's makes kills his horses, his charioteer, and he destroys his chariot, and then he cuts off the head of Kshemadruti. So like this, Kshemadruti was killed by Kurukshetra in that battlefield, and then Veeradanvan, he goes after Drishtaketu, and the terrible battle takes place between those two, both again trying to kill each other. Veeradanvan cuts off Drishtaketu's bow with broad arrows, and then abandoning that, Drishtaketu takes up another bow and then he strikes Veeradanvan with great force, and then with that Veeradanvan was killed by Drishtaketu. So then, like this, him falling like that, many Trigarta warriors, they were broken by Pandavas. Then Durmukha goes after Sahadeva, and Sahadeva and Durmukha, they have a great battle one after another. Sahadeva cuts off the trunk of the head of Durmukha's charioteer, and then Durmukha, taking a large bow, razor-faced arrow, he strikes. Sahadeva strikes Durmukha with 5 arrows, and Durmukha again jumps down from his chariot where horses have been killed, and he jumps onto Viramitra's chariot. So then Viramitra and Sahadeva, they started having battle, and there again Viramitra, who is the son of Trigarta ruler, he was killed by Sahadeva in that battlefield. Then like that, Sahadeva killing him, in that battlefield, Niramitra, Trigarta warriors started running away from that battlefield. Nakula has battle with Vikarna, and then Vyagradatta has battle with Satyaki, and who again covered Satyaki with completely with his arrows and his horses, driver, everybody covered in arrows. Then Satyaki angrily kills Vyagradatta with sharp arrows, with his horses, driver, standard, everything. He kills and destroys. He kills Vyagradatta in that battlefield. So, like this, when Vyagradatta, the Magadha prince, was killed like that, Satyaki was attacked from all sides by the Magadha warriors, the soldiers on their side, and all of them started attacking. But Satyaki kills all of them, defeats all of them in that battlefield. So they were all exterminated by Satyaki, and Satyaki continues to battle in that. Then Drona becomes very angry and he goes after Satyaki once more. So we looked at previously Satyaki cutting off Drona's bow 70 odd times, and Drona now once again comes after Satyaki after seeing Satyaki destroying that Magadha troops and killing Vyagradatta. Drona becomes angry and he comes after Satyaki. So we'll look at what happens with Drona and Satyaki's battle, and also what happens with Arjuna at the other end next time when we gather. Any questions? Thank you.